this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Florida. And today our question comes to us from Vivian. And Vivian references a number of videos that we have here at Magic TV dealing with the crown attunement. And if you're not familiar with the crown attunement, it's an energetic attunement that we give in the Correllian tradition dealing with the crown chakra, which is intended to stimulate psychic and oracular ability. And we have some videos here at Magic TV that show this attunement being performed, and interviews with people who have had it performed. And one of those interviews features Reverend Laurie Denman, who talks about how certain things resulted from this attunement but lasted only for a couple of days. In this case, it was an effect on her physical eyesight. And for a couple of days she saw things differently, literally physically differently, than she normally did, and then it went away. And Vivian's question is, why does this happen? Why is it that when we have certain energetic attunements, we sometimes have abilities that come to us only temporarily and then fade? And how could we make them permanent? And the first part of my answer to this is I think there's probably more than one answer. But I think the primary answer is that when we do this sort of thing, it's kind of like filling a cup, and sometimes you fill it over full and you need to put a little bit out and keep what you need, but not necessarily what you don't. And I think sometimes when we first will make a certain piece of energetic growth, either through attunement or other kinds of developing energetically, I think sometimes we perhaps take on more than we really need, and our higher self will let some parts of it go and retain others. I think it's very much a function of the higher self, and I think that very often it's a matter of fine-tuning after that growth has occurred. In the case of Reverend Laurie, I would say that when she had the attunement, it made lots of changes, and her higher self then had to rebalance, and some of those changes were not things that it wished to retain. Her conscious mind might have wished to retain them, but her higher self did not. And that's what I would say is basically going on. I myself have had this happen with certain periods in my career where I have made substantial gains in terms of psychic ability and practice, and had certain things that came to me for a short time and went away, and others that stayed forever. But when I look at those things that lasted only a short time, I would have to agree they weren't things that were really part of the practice that I was trying to develop, but were peripheral to it, and I would say that my higher self discarded them because it did not need them. And I would say that once you've had this, if you wanted to get it back, you probably could, but I don't know that I would recommend it, because I would say the higher self has deliberately chosen not to hold on to those things. I will say that this is only one scenario, and there are probably others, but it's the one that I have encountered and that I would think would be most often the case. So that would be my answer. I hope that you find it interesting, and until next time, may you blessed be. Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis, and did you know that I'm also a psychic reader? For over 30 years I have been a psychic reader specializing in tarot and clairvoyance, and if you would like a reading with me, you can set one up, either by phone or by email, by contacting me at donlewishp@aol.com. And until next time, may you blessed be.